Okay, so this is day 6 here in China, and it's my first day on my own, so that's a little different. What have I learned and what have I done in the last 6 days? I looked at a lot of Chinese history. There's some revisionism going on, and it's all presented very well. So a lot of the a lot of the old buildings are buildings that were actually destroyed or demolished and then rebuilt to look old in the same style as the building that was destroyed. So that's a unique perspective, method for preservation. Let's see. I've been exploring a lot of Guangzhou. It's much bigger than LA. I've been to LA, I've been to Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, and this city is bigger than all of those. It's huge. I've been learning the subway system, and I've been learning how to read the names in Chinese or Mandarin. There's large groups of different sets of people here, but you don't see them for the most part. For the most part, you just see the same faces. If you go to certain places, though, there'll be congregations or gatherings of different groups, and that's when you'll notice different people here on the mainland. But for the most part, if you're just walking around, you're not going to see too many foreigners. Maybe you'll see one or two. I've hit up a lot of malls. I've hit up a lot of walking districts. I've gone to one or two villages. The villages are a very different experience from the bigger cities. Everyone, for the most part, is very friendly. There is some videotaping of a foreigner or some photographs taken, but not for the most part. For the most part, they just leave you be and let you do your thing. Usually if they invite you into their area or their comfort zone, that's when they'll kind of pull out their camera and take some pictures. But for the most part, if you're on the street or in the subway, they really don't notice you. It's not because you don't stand out, believe me, you do. It's more that everyone here is kind of stuck on their cell phone. So whether they're driving or walking or on the subway, they're looking at their cell phone screen. They're not looking at what's ahead of them. So they won't notice you unless they have a reason to notice you. Which is kind of comforting, but in the same time a little disconcerting. The food here is amazing, but not all of it's good. And what they consider tasty or flavorful is not what you might consider flavorful. So you might like a particular dish, and they might be, oh, that's not good. They'll taste it and tell you whether your judgment is correct or not. So that's an interesting way to do things. That being said, I'm definitely enjoying the trip. I would like to give some pointers to people, so I'll do that in a second. So, if you're an American and it's going to be your first time coming to China, there's a few things that they will tell you that doesn't really pan out the way they say it will. So I'd kind of like to give some tips. I might do a later video doing the same thing back when I'm in the States, but while I'm here, here's what I've learned so far. Here's what I've noticed. They're going to tell you that you don't need to bring cash. That is absolutely not true. You're going to need a credit card, and you're going to need to make sure that you can do international purchases on it. Here in China, especially on the mainland and in a big city, nobody really uses cash anymore. It's all done through WeChat or Alibaba. So if you don't have either of those apps, you're not going to be able to buy anything or do anything in the city. You're going to need a Metro card, and you're going to need a credit card. Nobody really uses cash anymore. Even the smaller shops, everything's paid and ordered through the phone. So when you go to a restaurant, you're not going to see a waiter. You're going to see a little QR code on the table, and you click that, and then you click the meal that you want. So if you don't have a QR reader on your phone, you're going to be a little screwed. Also, you can't really do the WeChat stuff on your phone as a foreigner. You need to have a Chinese ID. So you're going to need to make sure that you have your passport and your city passport as well. I recommend having a Chinese friend with you, especially the first few days that you're getting acclimated. Otherwise, you won't be able to buy a lot of things. If you're going to go to a hotel, you probably won't have that problem. Most of the 3-star and 4-star hotels and up, they're going to have a way for you to pay with American cash and how to do things. If you do go out to the main shops and to the more popular places, and you do want to buy something as an American without an app, they're going to take you to the cashier, and you might be like, well, who cares? Now, there'll be one cashier in the whole mall, or there'll be one cashier in a whole shopping area, like a whole center. There'll be one cashier on one floor, so you got to go to that floor, and you're going to have to pay with your product there, and the lady, or is usually a lady, who's going to take your card is going to look very confused. Everybody uses apps here, and everybody pays digitally. So, and your Apple Pay is not going to work here, and your Google Pay is not going to work here. So, yeah, you're going to need a credit card. I think when you're flying in, I think I saw that there's a exchange area. Whoever you're talking to, whoever's inviting you over to China is going to tell you you don't need it. You need it. So when you get to the airport in Hong Kong, go to the exchange area that allows you to do business here in China. What else? They're going to tell you you don't need to worry about speaking Mandarin. That you can just come here and you'll be fine. That's not true. Yes, everybody here speaks a little bit of English, but in the exact same way that everyone in the Midwest speaks a little bit of Spanish. You can say you can say the word taco, but that doesn't mean you can have a conversation in Spanish. Same thing here. They can say a few English words, but for the most part, you're going to have to point and nod. Everyone's very friendly. The police and the security are very friendly. You will get looked at. And if you're going to bother having an argument with anyone, don't. You're going to notice that there's a lot of bikes, a lot of bike rentals. If you don't know how to ride a bike, you're not going to be able to get around China. Instead of Lyft or Uber, they have Bibi, and Bibi's really useful. Again, though, without the app, it's pretty hard to get around. Subways are very confusing here. They're very, either you understand it or you don't. And those doors close. So if you don't move fast, you're gonna be left behind, and then you're just kind of out of luck. Street food is very good and very terrible. So I do recommend going to a college town or a college station and just walking through the food center. If you've ever been to Reynosa or Matamoros or any of the other border towns on the Mexico side, you'll see these long lines of taco vendors. It's kind of the same thing, but it's with Chinese food, and it's really good and it's really fun. I do highly recommend that. They're going to want to take you to a Western restaurant. Don't. Just tell them they want to take you to a restaurant, say KFC or say McDonald's. And they're going to have a ton of 7-Elevens here, so if you need any products, any Western products, just go to the 7-Eleven. They'll have what you need. So go to the 7-Eleven, go to McDonald's, go to KFC. Other than that, don't let them take you to a Western restaurant. You're not going to like it. On the other hand, almost all the Chinese food here is going to taste great, but you have to be ready for much stronger flavor than you're used to. So sour fish is going to be sour. Spicy is going to be spicy. And it's not going to be tailored to a broader palate. So if they say they're northern flavor, it's going to be northern flavor. If they say their Hunan flavor, it's going to be Hunan. If they say it's Sichuan or any other flavor, it's going to be that flavor. If you're dealing with younger people, college kids, they're a little bit more open. You're dealing with older generations that have a little bit more hardline opinions, especially on food. Don't argue, just try. Just have an open mind and have an open, be open to different flavors, and if you don't like it, don't worry about it, move on. I do recommend hot pot. They also do something interesting here for breakfast. Everything's egg, and they have like an egg tortilla thing, they have an egg pizza thing, but they don't call it any of that. So they don't call it egg pizza, they don't call it egg tortilla, but it's basically, that's what it is. Anyway, I'll give more advice later on. Peace, like, and subscribe. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Do bring deodorant, because that's not a thing. Do bring products that you need. Like I said, if you need to shave or anything like that, there is a 7-Eleven, so go there. I know it sounds like 7-Eleven, who cares about a convenience store? This is more like a bodega, and it's more like a Western center in every spot. So if you need any Western supplies, that's where you're gonna have to go. KFC is not what we think of when we think of KFC. It's a little bit more of a Western style restaurant, and it has a more food selection than you would think it would. Same thing with McDonald's. McDonald's is a McDonald's, but it doesn't, it's not like the same connotation as it is back in the West. So you're gonna get a little bit more food and a little bit more things that you're looking for. There's a lot of Japanese companies and products here. So if you're looking for stuff that's gonna make you feel American, just go to a Japanese shop and you'll see things you recognize. Other than that, just enjoy, spend your money, have a good time, and when you find yourself a day on your own, you're on your own. Anyway, peace, like, and subscribe. Talk to y'all later. Hope you're enjoying these videos. Bye.